Hello, I'm Digital Kai, and welcome back to reacting to these scary story animations. Today we're going to be looking at 4 creepy Christmas horror stories animated. Only looking at 2. Only 2 videos, keeping it nice and short. It's almost Christmas. Merry Christmas to you guys. I don't celebrate Christmas, another day for me, but for those of you who spend time with the Santas and the presents and the milk and the cookies, Merry Christmas to you and your families. I hope this video is good enough to scare the Santa ho-hos off your reindeer. We're about to just get into it. If you guys knew by any chance, from Digital Kai, we watch Christmas horror story videos because we're weird. We don't celebrate Christmas, but that's all right. But with all that being said, let's get into it. Merry Christmas, you know what I'm saying?
It was Christmas Eve,
Period.
2001.
Hey.
I was 6 years old at the time.
I was 2.
My parents had gone to the store in town to grab some last-minute supplies for Christmas.
Period.
They'd left me in the barely capable hands of my older brother.
Merry Christmas.
I was downstairs in the living room watching some cartoons on TV, while he was upstairs in his room listening to metal. As I'm sitting there, watching Dexter's Lab, I caught something out of the corner of my eye. Passing by my living room window was a guy in a big, floppy red hat.
What the hell is even that?
Bro looks like he hasn't seen daylight in 70 years. Bro's gotta be carrying some bodies in that bag. Look how freaking gray he is. Like, he's in broad daylight too.
He stopped at the window and looked in at me. It was a man dressed up in a cheap Santa suit.
Why is your I guess it is daytime. I mean, your window's wide open.
He had the big, fake white beard and everything.
Bro is
even
high.
a large sack slung over his shoulder. Now, to my childish mind, this really was Santa paying me a visit.
Merry Christmas.
Still, even then, I knew something was off. What unsettled me about him as he stared in through the window at me were his eyes. They looked sickly and yellow, with dark bags
Bro got jaundice
under them. His cheeks were sunken, and he didn't exactly look like the holly jolly jelly belly Santa I imagined growing
Jelly
up.
belly.
He looked in at me for an uncomfortably long amount of time, and I looked back. Rather than be filled with joy, I just felt uncomfortable.
That's right, I scratched my ass on camera.
And being so young, I didn't exactly know how to react. Santa was a good guy, right? While looking in, he motioned towards our front door, as if to say, "Let me in."
Ew.
I got up off the couch and walked into the hallway.
Don't.
I unlocked
Why
the
would you
door,
open the
but
door?
didn't touch the screen door in front of it like my parents had taught me.
Idiot.
As such, there was still a thin layer between myself and the Santa now
Stupid.
standing on my porch.
Why are kids so damn stupid? I'm sure your parents told you never to open the door for strangers. What the fuck does your dumbass do? Open the front door to a stranger, an ugly one at that.
Oh, ho, ho.
Bitch, the ho away from my freaking property before I pull the shotgun.
Why, hello there, little boy.
Being creepy.
Merry Christmas. And what's your name?
Michael.
I always believed the whole Santa thing was really creepy. I mean, I stopped believing in Santa when I was probably like 6 or 7. You know, I think the whole bringing your kids to Santa Claus at the mall and having him sit on his lap and tell them what they want for Christmas, that shit is weird to me. And if you're a parent that actually takes your kids to shit like this, you're fucking weird. Like, I mean, I love the idea of Christmas, the lights, the trees, the presents, the food, the family. But like I said, there shouldn't be no old dude popping into people's chimneys leaving presents. Like, 1, that's evasive. 2, that's breaking into people's homes. And why would y'all even give consent to an old fat dude with reindeer to just pop on your crib like that? The idea of Santa is really stupid. I'm sorry to be one of those, but
I heard my name. I always thought Santa knew every kid's name. Wasn't he supposed to have a list?
Nice to meet you, Michael.
get away from
Do
me.
you know who I am?
I nodded yes.
Well, I've heard you've been a very good boy this year, so I brought you this.
He dipped his hands into the sack and pulled out a wrapped present. Held it out in front of
And
him,
this kid's not even white. He looks like he's like brown or Middle Eastern. The fact, I'm sorry.
as if to say,
I don't
"Come
think
and get
Middle
it."
Eastern people believe in Santa. Screw these ads. Gelato.
Being so young and naive, I was tempted to open the screen door and take the gift. But my parents had drilled stranger danger into me hard. to the point where I didn't...
Obviously, they didn't drill it into your stupid ass brain enough. You opened the door to this guy, you're talking to him.
even trust Santa Claus. All I could think to do was tell Santa that he had come too early, and that he should come back at nighttime like he was supposed to. Put the present under our tree, you know?
Come now, Michael. Open up and come and get your present.
That's creepy as
It's a
fuck, dude.
doozy.
This pisses me off.
The temptation was strong. I wanted the present, obviously.
How old are you? Freaking 2 years old?
Nation ran away with me, thinking about which new, cool toy it could be. But I needed permission. I shouted up to my brother. Daniel, come down here real quick. I'll never forget how that Santa's eyes widened as I shouted that upstairs.
Oh my goodness!
Without hesitation, he turned and walked away.
Ew, did you guys see his face?
He hopped into a van outside our house that still had its engine running. All I could think
van?
was, where are the reindeer? Within moments of getting in, he drove off down the road, never to be seen again.
That's a long van. It makes you wonder what's in that van.
Not by me, at least.
Oh, jeez.
My brother hadn't even heard me shouting because of the metal he was blasting.
Yeah, that's not good. When you're home alone with your younger siblings, you're not supposed to be blasting music in your ear, just in case something like that happens. Like, older siblings do not have anything distracting your hearing capabilities when you're home alone with your younger sibling. Like, that's so irresponsible. Anything could have happened to his brother. Stupid.
When my parents came back, I told them about the Santa that came to visit. They thought I was just pretending or playing a game. A couple of days after Christmas, the news broke out.
Merry Christmas.
An 8-year-old boy in our town had disappeared from his house after his parents ran to the stores.
Wow.
They'd only left him alone for 10 minutes. They never found him.
That's really
my folks
sad.
believed my story after that, and never left me alone with my brother again.
Right. Now the older brother can't be trusted because he didn't... Stupid.
I thank my lucky stars we had that screen door rule in my home.
That's crazy.
On Christmas Eve in 1989, I was traveling through Mexico City in my boyfriend's car. He was driving and I was navigating.
That story hit way too hard. I'm so sorry, y'all.
There were
even
Christmas decorations up along the
These
streets,
Legos.
and most of the traffic was moving at a snail's pace,
I hate that. I hate
taking
traffic.
care not to hit the dense pockets of people walking up and down the street. We were in a hurry though, so my boyfriend turned off one of the main roads and we cut down a side street to avoid the congestion.
Congestion.
We made a few more turns and suddenly stopped when we realized we didn't have a clue where we were. I opened the map while my boyfriend put the car in park and lit up a
You
cigarette.
smoking cigarettes? You smoking lung cancer? Are you serious, my guy? You know how bad cigarettes are? The fact that this country really sold cigarettes like that just shows how screwed up everything is. Like, cigarettes, they do no benefit to you physically. Okay, it gives you this high, yada yada, but guys, come on. Don't smoke cigarettes.
I was tracing our route on
So
the map to
unattractive.
backtrack us when something struck our car hard on the front side right next to me.
Yikes.
I caught a glimpse of a figure slam into our windshield and bounce forward off the car.
Wait, you guys weren't moving.
I cried out in shock while my boyfriend stuffed his cigarette in the ashtray and stepped out of the car. This is where the experience became strange. I've never shared this before with anyone other than my closest friends and family who I trust. While my boyfriend was climbing out of the car, I saw the figure who struck us stand up awkwardly, holding his head and limp across the street. My boyfriend completely ignored him and bent down to look at the front of the car. I rolled down my window and called out, "Hey!" to the man as
Hey.
he limped away. My boyfriend, thinking I was yelling at him, called back to me, "Don't get out." I called back, "What? Why?"
Just
And
listen.
my boyfriend stood back up and I noticed blood on his pants from where he had knelt down.
What?
"He's dead," my boyfriend said, and
Wait,
he rubbed
wait,
his face.
wait, whoa. Wait a minute. The guy just clearly walked across the street. How is he dead? Wait a minute. I thought you guys were stationary for one thing. The guy ran into you, but the guy also got up and walked across. This is weird.
"What? No, he's not. I turned and started to point in the direction the man had limped away in, but he was gone. I got out of the car and stood up. I saw enough to understand what my boyfriend meant. The man we had struck had flipped off the windshield and caught his head in a storm drain. His neck was very clearly broken and he was bleeding heavily from 2 different compound fractures in his legs where he had struck our car with his bike. The bike itself was lying on its side by my feet, the front wheel bent sideways and the back wheel still spinning. I was in shock and kept jerking my head back and forth down the street the man had limped down on and the figure at my feet.
What?
It didn't make sense. They were wearing the exact same clothes. How many people did we hit? I asked my boyfriend. He looked at me like I had hit my head. Only one, he replied. Then he started waving his arms to flag down a police car. I sat down on the sidewalk and stared at the ground, feeling like I was going to be sick. I wasn't crazy. I hadn't seen a ghost because I had seen the shadow of the man cast on the stone wall behind him as he stood up and limped away.
This makes no sense.
But there he was. The exact same man who had stood up right there on the ground in front of our car. The police blocked off the area, examined the bike and our cracked windshield, and determined the guy had been speeding down the hill on his bike and struck us without applying the brakes. They asked me what I saw, and the best that I could do was stammer that it happened so fast. I thought we had hit 2 people. We got a ride from a family member to my boyfriend's house, but I was still in such a state of shock that I couldn't even touch the dinner that had been prepared for us. People have since asked if the man who stood up was bloody or if I could see the whites of his eyes. Honestly, I don't recall seeing either. All I could say with certainty is that he stood up, held his right hand to his head and limped away. He didn't react to my boyfriend stepping out of the car. I don't know if I believe in ghosts or life after death. But if that's the case, this man was physically reacting to the impact that had killed him, seeming not to have noticed that he was dead.
What?
Occasionally I dream about that night and that impact, but in the dream I never see the man stand back up. I see a bright flash of light and then nothing. No details of the man himself after the hit. I never even found out the man's name. It was the worst Christmas of my life.
Yo, wait a minute. Whoa. That was crazy. But yeah, guys, you know, I don't believe in ghosts. I don't believe I don't think ghosts exist. I think once I don't know what happens after you go, but I don't think ghosts are a thing. But the fact that she's seen a dude stand up and just walk like nothing happened and then seen a body by that will never be explained. And that's the crazy part. Things that we see are like paranormal or, you know, just odd or creepy or just out of the norm. There are a lot of things in this world that we just cannot explain. And those are one of those stories that I just cannot piece together and understand entirely, but that was crazy as hell. But yeah, guys, that was a couple of them Christmas horror story videos. I don't know why I can't just watch regular Christmas videos like a normal person. I guess I'm not normal. But Merry Christmas to you guys and your families. Have a great time. Be safe. Do not speed down hills in a bike full speed without applying brakes. That's the moral of the story. If you guys want to see more Christmas, what am I saying? I'm sorry. If you guys want to see more creepy horror stories animated, be sure to like and subscribe. Shout out to MGV Animations for these stories here. I forgot to mention you in the intro. Our links will be in the description below, as long as my Instagram, especially my Instagram and TikTok. I cannot talk after that story, guys. I am so sorry. But with all that done, said, I'll catch you guys in my next video. Merry Christmas. Stay off the streets at this point. Just stay off the streets.